Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 5th through the 11th. And during that time, we have a waning gibbous moon, and that's a time of self-reflection and rebirth, a good time for us to make positive changes, definitely a time for us to get rid of bad habits and negative thinking as we just buckle down and work towards those things we're trying to accomplish. We then have the last quarter moon, and that comes in on April 10th. And that is a time when we're starting to realize those dreams, those things that we've just started at the beginning of this cycle. Things are starting to come to fruition. We're attaining our full potential, but definitely still getting rid of those negative emotions and just trying to be positive as we really just push through and get those things done. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is that your hard work is paying off. And isn't that good news? All right, let's see what the Libra Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling today, my fun weekly reminder, and I will just touch on this very quickly today, is that you pay attention to the synchronistic things in the universe. So this could be repeating number patterns, might be an animal that you see. It could be a conversation that you overhear. And, the example is maybe you're thinking about buying a car and you're on a street and there's two people talking and they walk by and someone says to the other person, yes, you should buy the car. And you just happen to hear that little snippet and you're like, okay, I'm literally thinking about buying a car. So that's kind of how that works with the synchronicities. I've had it happen and you're like, did that just happen? Anyway, it's a fun way to read the universe. Just make sure you're paying attention to those things because they are happening around you. All right, let's get into this reading here for Libra. April 5th through the 11th, your hard work is paying off. Your overall energy is, look, it's the World card, the card of perfect balance, the card of happy endings, the card of, here I was talking about being at the end of the cycle or approaching the end of the cycle with the third quarter moon. And that's what this is about. It's like things coming to fruition. This is your dreams being materialized. This is, success, tranquility, being happy about a thing that's working out. So it looks like you're there. This is, the end of the road here for the Fool in the major arcana. So, and it's like a happy ending. So whatever you've been working on looks like it's been paying off, which is exactly what your overview says there. Your current situation right now is that you're a little bit disappointed with something. So don't be so hard on yourself. There might be, if there's something that you've been working on and it's like it's going very well except for maybe one little aspect of it, guess what? You have the next cycle to like focus on that aspect. Okay, what part of it isn't quite working out and how can you change that? And so we're back to the drawing board, back to the drawing board, especially during the waning crescent of next week, and we start to formulate a plan so that when the new moon comes, we're back at it. Let's start to make those changes again. So don't be so hard on yourself. Your hard work is paying off. It may not be completely perfect, but it's getting there, right? We're all striving for that eventual perfection. At the root of your situation is, there's something that you have to think your way out of here with the Eight of Swords. So, and this just gives me the confidence that you can. You just haven't come to the right solution yet, but the solutions are out there. Maybe it's why you're a tarot reading. You're just kind of at an impasse where you're like, I just don't know how to fix this one thing. Well, I'm here to tell you that it takes time, and the things don't get fixed in a cycle in a month. They certainly don't get fixed in a week. Tarot readings, I'm doing these weekly, but that doesn't mean that life happens in a week. Sometimes it takes time and you have to chip away, but your hard work is paying off. And if you're trying to focus on one other aspect, it might take a few cycles of something to really get it to where you feel like it's paying off in a good way for you. So in your recent past here is the Ace of Wands. So this could be some new passion that you're nurturing. And it could be that, again, it's just not going the way you thought it would. And maybe it's harder than you thought it was going to be. Maybe it was easy. Maybe it was easy for a while and all of a sudden it's hard and you're not sure what that roadblock is. So you need to turn around and look behind you and examine, what happened? Where was the roadblock? Where did it stop being as successful as I wanted it to be? On your mind this week, Nine of Pentacles. So take a little time too while you're working through all of this to just indulge yourself a little bit, take care of yourself a little bit. It can't just all be about pushing forward and doing work. Sometimes you have to just take those little mental break times, where it's like, okay, I've been working on this really hard and it's time for me. I'm going to take a day and I'm just going to go hiking that day, right? So to also get your mind off of things. And sometimes when you indulge a little bit and get your mind off of things, that's when the big ideas come. So, don't think that that's being lazy or not working, or, sometimes big ideas come when you're having those relaxing times like that, those moments to just indulge a little bit. What is just ahead of you this week is the Hermit, and that could be, again, maybe that's what feels indulgent, is to just hermit, get inside your head, write in your journal, do those notes, do things that you're where you're doing this examining, where you're putting a light on something to say, okay, what is my next step? Maybe you don't know 10 steps ahead, but maybe just knowing that one step will get you it kind of gets the ball rolling on the path, right? What is in your advice position here is the Six of Pentacles. I'm sorry, Five of Pentacles. Why I said six. Five of Pentacles. And this is the card that I call the comparison is the Thief of Joy card. And this would be, you're feeling like an outsider, but why? Are you comparing yourself to someone or something else that has you kind of that comparison? We're not all in the same place, and we're not ever. I mean, it's just we're all at our own pace and learning things in our own way. Don't compare yourself to others and let that make you feel like an outsider. Understand that even if you're looking at someone and you're like, well, why are they successful at that and I'm not? They're having their own struggles as well. Like, everybody's fighting a battle we can't see, right? So pay attention to that. Don't compare. Just understand and try to stay in your own lane and focus on your path. What is it that you want? Again, what is your next step? Go inside. That inner wisdom is there for all of us for a reason. What is beyond your control this week is the Chariot card. So beyond your control, again, is gathering that information to make that move. You might make it during the new moon. It might not be tomorrow that you figure this out and think, oh, I'm going to change the way I do this. It might take a little while to do that evaluation, to try to get a more positive mindset, to stop comparing so that you can get in a place, okay, I'm going to gather these little bits of information and then I'm going to implement a plan, right? And that plan can start on the new moon. That's a good time to do that. That's a good time to start things so that they will come to fruition for you. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Nine of Wands here. So now we've got two nines on the table. Actually, we've got three. So look up 999. Is that the only ones on there? Yeah. Look up 999 as an angel number. Are you trying to avoid looking back at the things that might um, help you to make the decisions on where to go and what your next step is? So do that backwards evaluation. We can't tell where we've been unless we go and back and look on that path and kind of evaluate those things. And then we can say, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that thing and that thing. And so now moving forward on your path, let's not do those things and choose different things. And let's see if we get a different result, right? You can't, what do they say, that doing the same thing, madness is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same result. So sometimes we do have to change just how we're doing a thing and see if the result changes as well. All right, and your outcome position here is the King of Swords. So you're going to go about this very, very logically. If you can avoid, this will be a big question, this one here. If you can avoid, or if you can make this your secret desire instead of what you're trying to avoid, make sure that you are looking back so that you can take the logical next steps on being more successful at whatever this is. Your hard work is paying off. But again, there's something you're disappointed about. So figure out what that is and then take those steps to be very logical about it. That's all you have to do. What's hidden from you this week? Rest and meditation. This card that goes right along with this Hermit, in fact, they're both fours. This is hidden from you. The Hermit card is there, but I think this is just a bigger encouragement to really take that time. Actually, that would be 444, a number very close to my heart. Look that up in your angel numbers as well, because you do have a 44 here, and here this brings another 4. Um, and these are you have to take that time for evaluation and to just rest and meditate. It can't just always be work, 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 and working towards this thing. And even though it's paying off, you've got this one little thing that you're disappointed in. You have to take that time to evaluate, to know, and inner wisdom wise, that's what the hermit represents. You know what the change is somewhere in there. You might know right, you might not know at the moment, but it's in there somewhere that you know exactly what to do. All right, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Libra as they're working out this one little disappointment in their hard work. Make a plan. What was I saying? And you don't know where you've been unless you're going to take that time to look back and see, so that you can then kind of evaluate, oh, well, maybe I should have done this thing differently. Maybe that's what's happening. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care here for Libra. Self-care for Libra. And the card that you get is the card called Love, which has a pretty little heart on it. Love people. Love them with all your heart. Just be sure to love yourself first. Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself for whatever this thing is that isn't working out. But do look back, make a plan so that you can change this around for the next cycle, right? You're kind of wrapping up and coming to an ending. Your hard work is paying off, but there is something that you are a little disappointed in. So figure out what it is and start to formulate that plan so that you can then, make your plan, turn around, but love yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself all the time, because you'll get through it. So Libra, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if anything here resonated, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those too. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting the like and subscribe button, that helps me so much. So thank you in advance for doing that. Also, it helps you find me next week, where we can come back and see where this story goes. So thanks so much, Libra. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.